What's up, guys? So today I am in Midday Sewer here on Anacaoa Avenue near Bella Vista. I guess this is Bella Vista, but Las Casas too. I think Las Casas is up the road. But I was out and about and I decided to come over here and record this video because I had this topic on my mind. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. But let me start off by saying something that's gonna be hard for people to hear, but it needs to be said. Living in the United States is costing a lot of people their peace. And I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm talking abstract. I'm talking about the kind of stress that's eating away at your health, your joy, your sense of freedom. But you've been carrying this around for so long, you think it's normal. But what if I told you it wasn't? If it's costing you your peace, it's way too expensive. And we're paying for these lifestyles, not with just our money, but at the expense of our joy, our mental health, our relationships, and most importantly, our peace. We've been conditioned, especially in the United States, that living a life full of stress is just part of being an adult. That if you're constantly tired, anxious, unfulfilled, that you're doing life the right way. The United States rewards being overworked, it praises exhaustion, and it glamorizes the grind. Yet so many people are still walking away feeling empty, disconnected, like they're stuck on this hamster wheel that never stops. Living in the United States for most of us is living in survival mode. It means spending most of our time working just to make ends meet. You wake up early, you battle that traffic, you work 40 to 60 hours a week or more. You barely have time for yourself, let alone some of the dreams that you want to accomplish. You scroll through social media and you see these people living these freer lives, and then you think to yourself, how did they do that? I wonder if I could do it. And so many people are living lives that look good on the outside. Good job, decent home, steady income. But on the inside, they're anxious, they feel stuck, and no one taught us to say this: is it worth it? And I want to speak to the part of you that says, I want out. I want something different for myself. So maybe you've thought about moving abroad, slowing down the pace, waking up to the sunlight hitting your face rather than an alarm clock. Somewhere where you can walk down the street and actually feel safe. Somewhere that's peaceful. Somewhere that doesn't drain every single fiber out of you. Somewhere where your time stretches, your stress lessens, and your life starts to feel more like it's yours. But guess what? That's when fear creeps in. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of failure. But here's the truth, and I need you guys to listen closely. That fear that you're experiencing, it's already costing you. It's costing you your peace, it's costing you your happiness, and it's keeping you in a place where you're not even fully living. You think you are, but you're not. You're just surviving. What if staying where you are is really the real risk? Staying in this place that's draining you every single day is costing you more than you realize. And I know what it's like. I've been there. I've lived the U.S. lifestyle. And trust me, I do not miss it. I chased the job, the paycheck, the secure life. But every day I did that, I felt something just slipping away from me. I was working hard, but I wasn't living. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And worst of all, there are some people out there that starts to accept that that's how life is supposed to be. I never did. I was never gonna give up because I knew this wasn't how life was supposed to be. Because I realized at a certain point, if it was costing me my peace, it was way too expensive and I could not afford it. And I made the choice, along with my wife, to leave and move to Dominican Republic. And not because I had everything figured out, not because it was easy, because I could not afford to live that life that I was living anymore. Not only financially, but emotionally. I could not stay stuck any longer. So I chose peace. And that one decision gave me back my freedom, it gave me back my joy, and most importantly, it gave me back myself. Staying in a place that makes you feel small, tired, overworked, that's not considered safety. That's just a slow erosion of who you really are. I was tired of grinding. I was tired of living for the weekend. I was tired of waking up with anxiety and thinking that shit was normal. I would imagine all the time as I was commuting back and forth What would it be like to live in a place that actually supported my peace? Because I knew deep inside, staying where I was the bigger risk. Not moving abroad, staying where I was the bigger risk. And I get it, guys, we all fear the unknown. I feared the unknown when I first came here, even though I had been coming over here for many years. Again, packing up and moving everything that you're familiar with and moving to a different country is a lot of fear involved because you don't know how things are going to work out. And living somewhere and visiting is two different things. You always know when you're visiting, I'm going back to my comfort zone. But one thing we forget to do also is fear the known too, because a lot of you guys are not even fearing the known. You're only fearing the unknown, meaning moving abroad. You're not even fearing where you are now, the job burnout. You don't fear it when you should. When the rent rises and your paycheck doesn't and your life declines, you should fear that. That's the known. You know this stuff is gonna happen and you're not fearing it. And that routine that you do every single day that leaves you no room to be alive, you don't even fear it when you should. It should spark something in you to say, I need a change. And I hear this all the time when people talk about moving abroad. They're afraid because they feel like it's so unrealistic. It's irresponsible, or it's too hard. But you know what's harder? Waking up for the next 10 years of your life not feeling good. That's hard. That doesn't reflect what you want nor who you are. And I want to say this. This isn't pretending like living abroad that life is perfect, because it's not. But for me and many others who have done it, it's more aligned, it's more intentional, and it gives us a chance to live life on our own terms. So if you're watching this and you've been scared to make that move abroad, let this be your sign. And listen, fear is always part of the journey, but so is freedom. And one of them has to win. You deserve peace, you deserve joy, you deserve to live in a place where you're not just existing, but you're thriving. And if you're living in a place where it's costing you your peace, or a place where it's costing you your soul, that's way too damn expensive. You cannot afford it. So guys, remember, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And I'm out. Peace.
Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, no.